Springtime has finally come again, the sun is shining, the temperatures are rising, and today we're going to talk about the 5 steps you can take to get your best lawn ever. If you live in the Midwest like me, the odds are good that your grass is still looking pretty brown and dormant, but in just a couple weeks from now, things are going to start to come back to life, and this is the perfect opportunity to optimize your growing conditions and get that beautiful lawn you've always wanted. When it comes to getting your best lawn ever this spring, it comes down to 5 different components: seeding, fertilizing, aerating, dethatching, and weed elimination and prevention. Not everybody needs to take all of those steps, but all of them are really effective in turning your lawn around, so let's dive into each one and figure out which one is necessary for you. One common myth related to seeding your lawn is that it's not a good idea to put seed down, especially cool season grass during the spring, and I'm here to tell you that's just not true. I've done several seeding projects in the spring and have had great results, but there's a few steps you want to take before you do your seeding. First of all, you want to wait for the ideal growing conditions. Right now in early March, the soil is still too cold for seed to germinate, so you're going to want to wait until probably mid to late April to put your seed down. You want to wait until your soil temperature is around 60 degrees. Before putting your seed down, you also want to make sure that you prepare your soil, loosen things up, because you need that seed to make contact with the soil. Keep it wet. If you don't water your grass seed, or maybe you don't prepare your soil, your chances of getting good germination are minimal. Whether you're seeding or not, you're also going to want to fertilize your lawn this spring. If you do choose to seed, you're going to want to go with an organic fertilizer, something like a poultry manure or a Milorganite. If you haven't seeded, you could use a synthetic fertilizer like a Scott's Turf Builder, or you could use a Scott's Halts with crabgrass prevention if you are not putting your grass seed down. The next component to making a thick, green, beautiful lawn has to do with dethatching and regulating the thatch level in your grass. If you don't know what thatch is, it's just an organic material that sits between your soil and your grass blades, and if you have a buildup of more than about a ½ inch, it's a good idea to dethatch your lawn. Dethatching machines have metal tines that go through and they kind of rip up that material, and it allows your grass to be able to absorb sunlight, water, nutrients, and oxygen down into your soil that's going to allow your grass to thrive and grow vigorously. If you've done this recently, it may not be something that you need to do. You definitely don't need to do it every year or multiple times a year. But if you've never done it before and maybe your grass doesn't grow as well as you would like it, it could be something really beneficial to add into your lawn care plan. The next lawn care practice that can make for a thick, green, healthy, beautiful lawn is aeration. Punching holes and pulling plugs out of your soil is one of the best things you can do for the overall health of your grass. Those holes in the ground are going to create openings for water, air, and nutrients to get down to the roots of your grass, which is the heart and soul of everything when it comes to your lawn. So going through in the springtime, once your grass is actively growing, and pulling plugs with that aerator allows everything to come back to life, it allows everything to breathe, and it really helps with the overall health of your grass and prevention of things like disease and fungus later on in the season. Last, we need to come up with a plan of what we're going to do about those weeds that seem to pop up no matter what, and maybe if you've had a lot of weeds in the past, this could be your major problem. Right now in the spring, you're probably not seeing many weeds because most broadleaf weeds, their roots are still in the ground, so things like dandelions, but you don't see them yet. Once the soil temperatures start to warm up, you're going to start to see those things come back to life, and they're going to be spreading all over the place once they start blowing those seeds around. For broadleaf weeds like dandelions and clover, you can use a post-emergent herbicide, which is going to be something that you mix up in a sprayer, you spray it onto those things, and it kills the weeds but not your grass. I prefer to not poison my soil with herbicides, so what I do is I pull things by hand. I have a stand-up weed puller, and I also have just a screwdriver that I use. Every few days I'll walk around the lawn. Once everything's growing, I'll see when things are popping up and I'll pull them before they can start to put seeds out. Once you get things under control like that, you really don't have many weed problems, and your grass starts to fill in those areas, and then the weeds have no space to grow. If you've had issues with crabgrass, which typically in my area pops up around early July, the spring is the time to start to prevent those things, and you can put down what's called a pre-emergent herbicide. Probably the easiest way to do this is to put down a fertilizer in the spring around Easter time that also has crabgrass control. Scott's Halts is a great product for that. You got to remember though, if you have put down fresh grass seed or you plan on seeding, you cannot put down a pre-emergent herbicide because it'll keep your grass seed from germinating. The timing and order in which you do these 5 components is also very important. So if you've determined you're going to do all of these things, these are the steps I would take. First of all, I would do my dethatching. That's gonna tear things up. You can clean up that debris. After you're done with your dethatching, you can do your aeration. That's gonna pull the plugs out. You can leave those if you want to, let them break down on their own. After that, I would put down a fertilizer. All of this you want to do once your grass is actively growing, so don't do any of this while your grass is still dormant. After fertilizing, your grass is going to start growing more vigorously, and so are those weeds, because that fertilizer also feeds the weeds. So once everything starts to pop up and mature with your weeds, that's a good time to either spray those out with an herbicide, I don't do that, or it's a good time to start pulling those weeds, which is the path that I take. If you are choosing to seed, after you've dethatched and aerated, you don't want to put down your fertilizer quite yet. You would like to put down your grass seed at that time. You could cover it with something like peat moss or compost or topsoil, and then you could put down a different type of fertilizer. Instead of using something like a Scott's Turf Builder like I use for an established lawn, you could put down a starter fertilizer or an organic fertilizer. After you've done that, give it some time to start to grow, keep it watered, and before you know it, your lawn's gonna be thick and beautiful. After that, mow regularly, sit back, and enjoy the results of your beautiful lawn. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.